Football is a happening. From current players who make history to the legends of the game, heroes who helped define it, with unique stories built on pride and classic moments from many years past.
68 pass, wing back out. Gio for a touchdown!
This is family.
This is home for us.
This is life.
I gotta follow my dreams. I gotta chase them.
This is their story.
It is a massive tornado making its way in through the Tuscaloosa area.
And say thank you from the bottom of my heart.
I think I feel at home.
The moment that you figure out this game has nothing to do with skill and it's about will, nobody beats you.
It's Haviline's Football Saturday.
Hi, I'm Tim Brando, and welcome to the 14th season of Haviline's Football Saturdays from Raycom Sports. You just saw a sampling of the more than 300 stories we've produced since 2004. We've traveled across the country to find features that go beyond the football field. Heisman Trophy winners, Hall of Fame players and coaches, and superstars from college and the NFL have given our cameras unprecedented access. This summer, more of the same. 20 stories on the biggest names in the game. It's been quite a journey for Heisman Trophy winner Lamar Jackson, who talks about the motivation behind his historic season. Mark Richt left the University of Georgia as one of its most successful coaches, but has found a home in Coral Gables where it all began. Home is also where Ed Orgeron resides, the native Louisiana in his dream job as LSU head coach. 10 years ago, Michael Vick was indicted in federal court. Now, the former Virginia Tech and NFL star is trying to make a positive impact off the field. One of the best receivers in the NFL, A.J. Green, tells us how much the birth of his son has changed his life. One of the best cornerbacks in the league, Josh Norman, has a lot to say on the field, but talks to us about his humble beginnings. Matt Ryan looks back to last year's MVP season. And while Hunter Renfrow was not a household name when he showed up at Clemson as a walk-on, the Myrtle Beach native is now a Tiger legend. Those stories and more coming up of our next 6 shows. We begin today with the king of the college football world. Dabo Sweeney led Clemson to its first national title in 35 years this past January. I got a chance to visit with the former Alabama wide receiver for a candid conversation about the national title and what soon may be called Dabo World.
Watson takes a snap, rolls right, looks in the end zone. Hunter Renfrow caught it! Touchdown! 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 And there it is! Clemson paints the college football world orange here in 2016.
But Dabo, let me be the 1,000,000th person to say congratulations.
I appreciate it. Keep it coming. We don't play till September. I mean, it's okay.
Some run, just amazing. And I recall being back here 3 years ago, and I thought at the time, we discussed it, you were on the come. You were the program on the, but I would have never imagined the run that you've made in that last 8 years in total probably, but boy, the last 3 have just been incredible.
Yeah, it has been. Really the last 6. You know, the 2011 season, we were able to kind of win the league and get over the hump, but the 2012, I really, when we beat LSU in the bowl game, that was kind of, because we'd gotten beat in the Orange Bowl the year before, but that game I really thought put a lot of wind in ourselves as a program from a mindset standpoint of, hey, we're good enough, and let's just kind of work on some things and continue to be about the right things, continue to grow our foundation, recruit the right kind of guys, build our culture, and so it's been a steady, progression. And I always tell people, to be great at anything, and obviously you got to be great to win the national championship. You have to be very consistent for a long period of time. And last year was the year we were able to kind of put it all together and make those few little plays that we needed to make.
You started out with 9 straight wins, but they were not obviously easy. You had a tussle early with Auburn. You had a very close game with Florida State. Louisville with Lamar Jackson gave you a lot of trouble, but you got out of there with a win. Snuck out of that NC State game.
Snap, hold, the kick is on its way, and the kick is no good! He missed it right! And he will take the snap, back to pass, looking long, going to the end zone.
Interception.
Picked off by Marcus Edmonds. Clemson wins.
When you see things like that happen, and I know in my world, because people begin to say, there are doubters out there, and they grow when you're squeaking out win and squeaking out win. And I'm guessing in that second half of the year when Pittsburgh comes to town, and they beat you.
Yeah.
Now you got to deliver another kind of message. What was that message to your guys?
You know, the same message had we won it. For us, it's a windshield mentality. It's always about what's next. We don't get too high with a big win. The world's not over with a tough loss. And that's been a mentality that's been created in our program over the last 8 years. And I think that's why we've been able to become very consistent. But at the end of the day, it's hard every week for us. And it's not just this year or last year or the year before. We're going to get everybody's best effort every single outing. Yeah. And everybody's good enough. There's very few teams that we play that aren't good enough to beat you, especially if you don't, play well. And when you don't go out there and take care of the things that you control, you put yourself in harm's way. And listen, Pittsburgh, they were the better team that day. We couldn't stop them. They really couldn't stop us. To be honest with you, we had 630 yards of offense, but they had just a little bit more on the scoreboard than we did when it was all said and done, and they won the football game. To me, in the midst of any championship run, there's always a moment.
Yeah.
There's always this galvanizing moment where you really kind of you see your team just kind of stick their chin out there and say, all right, and grit through it. Or they kind of splinter a little bit. And I think, again, to be a great program and to have consistency, that has to be your mindset. Yeah. It does us no good to sit around and worry about what's going to happen over the next 4 weeks. Let's get ready to have a great Monday.
Yeah.
And let's learn from it, good or bad, and let's have a great Tuesday. And let's stay focused. I mean, at the end of the day, okay, we wanted to be 12-0. Well, that wasn't going to happen. Yeah. But guess what? We can be 11-1.
And Clemson will be victorious tonight here in Orlando. Pick up back-to-back ACC championships. 5
touchdowns from Deshaun now.
Yeah, he played.
He was big time.
He just played lights out, and then you go and play Ohio State, and be hard to play any better than what we played in that game. And now it's national championship time.
Why do you suppose you dominated the Buckeyes the way you did?
Well, just our day. I mean, I thought we controlled the line of scrimmages, and that's where it's going to start, especially with their style of play. They're a run-first team, and they had a hard time running the football on us. And we felt like if we could dictate the run game and in the line of scrimmages on both sides, we had a great opportunity to win that football game.
And Clemson moves on to the national championship game in Tampa, where Alabama awaits in a rematch.
Alabama, again.
Yeah.
Mindset for you. One of the things that you did at the beginning of the season, I meant to touch base on this earlier, but you put up a sign in the facility saying national finalists. Boulware was PO'd. Mm-hmm. He actually stated that a little bit later. The psychological story all along for this team was to get back there. Mm-hmm. And I'm guessing that was some motivation, right?
We talked about it all year, I mean, you're that much.
Yeah.
So it's a little more practice habits, a little better diet, a little more sleep, a little more study.
Yeah.
Get 7 reps instead of 6. Whatever that little extra is. And we talked about it all year and finishing with no regrets. And so we said we were on the road to Tampa Bay all year long, and we were just, how do we get there? And so we took our schedule, and we actually put our schedule on an elephant. And with the message being, how do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. And so every week we just would kind of take a bite out of that elephant, and we not knowing that the last bite, but I didn't have to say it. 7 years ago, when I got this job, from day one I said that we would win a national championship again. It was just a matter of when, and we just got to go to work and build our program, and that's what we've done. And tonight came up a little short. We give Alabama credit for that, but there's no doubt that we'll be back. It won't be 34 years before we're going to be back. I promise you that.
Sportscasters sometimes get caught up with the same terminology. We repeat ourselves a lot. Mm-hmm. Captain of redundancy, that kind of thing. Epic battle You know, but that was an epic battle.
Yeah, in Arizona it was, and we came up a few plays short. And in Tampa, it was the same thing. They came up a few plays short. But you're talking about two very talented football teams that laid it on the line. It was epic. It was on both ends. So to have a chance to finish what we didn't get done, that's very rare that you get a rematch like that and get a second chance in a moment like that, and then to win it the way we did. You know, to see their offense go down the field and score, and now you get the ball back with a couple minutes and you got to go the distance, win or lose, against the best defense in the country, and to win it with 1 second on the clock. It's legendary, and it's something that we'll all be attached to forever. And then for me, as an Alabama guy, to know that we started the season with Auburn, and we finished the season with Alabama, with Troy somewhere in the middle there, it's pretty special.
Coach, you got the ball 68 yards in front of you, under 2, and you say?
Well, it's interesting. At the beginning of every year, I make every player come up with a word that applies to them. It's something they can hang their hat on all year long, something that they want to focus on. Some guys it's consistency, some guys it's knowledge, whatever it is. And I have a word every year. And it's interesting that my word and Deshaun's words were on display that night in the national championship game. And I told the guys before the team, we're going to win the game. And, you know, we're not going to win the game because we got a bigger budget or bigger stadiums or more alumni or whatever. We're going to win the game because of love. My word was love last year. And I said, you guys are going to win the game because you love each other. You truly do. I've seen it on display all year long. And when you love something, man, you're going to give that little extra. And tonight, that's what it's going to take. And I think that's going to be the difference. And that's what you saw on that last drive. You saw a group of guys that really loved each other. And then Deshaun, back in August, when I asked him, I'll say, randomly, I'll say, what's your word this year? And he said, legendary. And I was like, ooh, 4 syllables. Wow, legendary. Man, that's a great word, Deshaun. I like it. And so this is August.
Yeah.
And so now fast forward, they score, and he's getting ready to take the field. He's strapping his helmet up. And we go over there, and he looks at the guys. He gathers them up, and he goes, let's go be legendary, boys. Last thing he said. And then if you watch that last drive, it was legendary. And it was something that you know, you really can't script it any better, especially for Deshaun Watson, no doubt about it. He was already legendary to me, but he solidified that with that drive.
The play is Orange Crush, and the receiver is a walk-on who's caught more passes against Alabama than anybody now, Hunter Renfrow. The leading up to that play, that moment, your recollection of it as you were deciding, okay, you know, you could have gone for the 3, maybe played for OT. Was any consideration of that? Or?
No, not with 6 seconds. We really knew it was going to be tight, but we really thought we'd have 2 seconds left.
Yeah.
And I trusted my quarterback, you know, and it's something that we practice all the time. We practice last play situations all the time. And with the ball on the 2, with that play and with my quarterback, I really felt like, I mean, it's either going to be open right now, like it was, and it's game over, or it's not, you throw it away, there's 2 seconds, we kick the field goal, we go to overtime. But there certainly there's risk, but that's one of the reasons we moved the pocket. We got him outside the pocket, you know, and he knew that if there had been some type of outside pressure that we couldn't pick up, he'd have thrown it away. And I had a timeout left, so it was a risky situation, but you know, you're not gonna.
Coach is living in the moment too.
You're not gonna.
You're living in the moment too.
Yeah, and you're not gonna. You know, you got to take some risks along the way to win it all, and especially if you're going to beat a team like Alabama.
Watson takes a snap, rolls right, looks into the end zone. Hunter Renfrow, caught it! Touchdown! 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 With a second left.
How often do you hear, "Oh, nice pick play, Coach"?
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, I've heard that once or twice, but they obviously hadn't watched the tape because we didn't have a chance to get a rub, because their guy tackled our guy. So, You know, but it was a great play.
A little bit of knowledge is a dangerous thing, Dabo.
Yeah, I know, yeah. To be honest with you, they probably should have got up there and tackled both of them and just held them, because pass interference, it's 1 yard and 3 seconds, we got to kick it.
Clock hits 0. Your first thought?
It was unbelievably special to be able to just really kind of soak it in, smell the roses a little bit, and hug the coaches, hug the players. My wife's down there, my boys, and it was just this magical moment that I'll never forget. And really just after that, I just wanted to get to Coach Saban. We kind of passed each other in the masses of people, couldn't find each, but eventually we got to each other, and he was very, very gracious. And then it was just, you know, I could literally almost touch and feel the joy from Clemson Nation. Yeah. You know, something that had seemed so out of reach for so long, and so a lot of people never experienced a championship like that at Clemson, or had vague memories. But to win it in that fashion, especially coming up short the year before, I mean, it was just a special moment that will be etched in my mind forever.
Celebrate, Clemson Nation. It's the second one in history. And drink it up, soak it up. Clemson is the national champs in 2016.
When Havoline Football Saturdays returns, there's a little golf, bowling, basketball, and
it's impossible to go down a slide and not be better than you were the previous 5 seconds.
Really?
You just gotta smile.
I never really looked at it that way.
Yeah.
Well, I'm never going to go ahead of the leader, so why don't you show me the way?
Just pop in and off you go.
Then let it go.
No big deal. Right there. Boom. So you sit up and just use your heels and control your speed.
You got it.
There you go. See? That's it.
I gave you a little kick at the end.
That's pretty good.
Right, tight end,
So that's the non-Heisman pose right there at the end.
So you're going to take me around and show me this mega joint?
Absolutely.
I mean, $55 million facility here. I can't wait to see it. Let's go take a look.
Let's do it.
All right.
It's impossible to go down a slide and not be better than you were the previous 5 seconds.
Really?
You just gotta smile.
I never really looked at it that way.
Yeah.
Well, I'm never going to go ahead of the leader, so why don't you show me the way?
Just pop in and off you go.
Then let it go.
No big deal. Right there. Boom. So you sit up and just use your heels and control your speed.
You got it.
There you go. See? That's it.
I gave you a little kick at the end.
That's pretty good.
Right, tight end,
so that's the non-Heisman pose right there at the end.
I feel exhilarated now.
You should.
I feel like I could maybe even lift some weights. You want to show me your weight
All right,
room
you
now?
come right this way. Obviously we wanted it really open. We got a great view. It's got a fun feel. It's just a very functional facility for these players, and again, an environment that they want to come to work in every day. They look forward to it. We put this massive cold tub in the locker room, and we wanted to kind of create it like feel like a men's spa, and they can get in. It's like a 60-person cold tub.
Wow.
This is all the locker room.
It's beautiful.
This is the paw.
The paw?
Yep.
Yeah, goodness, it's just magnificent.
So this is just kind of an area where they can gather. What's up, guys? See you. In case you get a little tired, this is a long walk for you.
Uh-oh.
So, you know, I know you're kind of tired. So if you need to come in here and take a little nap. So if you need to visit the barbershop and see Tyler and get a little haircut. So this is all just players' land. They got all their gaming, all their gaming stuff there.
You got golf in here?
Well, you want to take a swing?
Would you mind?
Go right ahead.
Show me what you got, Coach.
Well, I'm a little rusty. It's been a while, but you know, you just kind of just grip it and rip it.
Yeah, now we're talking a power draw.
I mean, that's just straight off the porch. I'm like an old Sooner dog. Show and go.
All right, here we go.
All right, give me the Phil Mickelson here. Oh, nice. Nice turn right there. This isn't his first rodeo. My two personal favorites. You know, I'm a hoopster,
All this, my
So,
gosh.
you know, I love to shoot basketball and, you know, sometimes kind of mix it up a little lefty. Whichever hand you prefer. You know, I just set the tempo right there. Except mine went in. There it is. Oh, that should have gone in.
The iron tantalizingly.
Listen, you can't just show up on our rim, I mean, and think that it's going to be kind to you. You got to pay your dues. Man, you got to get out of the office more. I mean,
You know, I didn't realize that a football facility could turn into Chuck E. Cheese quite so quickly.
Yeah, it's, you know,
This
it's like,
is awesome.
it's like Dave and Buster's Clemson style. So they can come over here and bowl, golf, shoot pool, play video games.
Why would you ever leave?
And grill a hamburger. Look at there. Look at there. Look at there.
Oh, baby! Oh, look at that! He got them all!
Oh, yeah! Yes, sir!
Got 'em
There
all.
you go. That's how you follow a spare. This is an area that we're really proud of. This is our dining hall, and so same thing, family feel. This is where we gather on Wednesday nights with all of our families, and then the players eat here every day. And the best thing about this is how it flows into the outdoor village. And so, you know, you see guys, I see, what, 4 guys out here right now in the middle of the day, just enjoying. We got a couple on the putt-putt course. We got some guys playing basketball. We got the grills, the fire pits, and I'll tell you, of all the things we did, we had a little space back there, but we put that wiffle ball field. They love the wiffle ball field.
And we're standing out here now. This is when you first walked in this new facility. This is, as you said, the centerpiece. You had to work on it, right?
Yeah,
Which one were you gonna?
Yeah, there was a lot of discussion because we were moving into January, and we didn't really know what we were going to put here. We had a big tiger, and then January 9th came crystal clear what was going to go here. So, you know, it's really neat. But as I tell our players, that I never want our program to be defined by this. What I hope is this trophy will scream at them.
Yeah.
You know, go to class. You know, be a good citizen. Give great effort. Because those are the things that it takes, in my opinion, to win at the highest level.
Congratulations on all you've done.
Appreciate it.
And the day and the time you gave us
Thank you.
today.
Enjoyed it. A lot of fun. Let's do it again.
Always special, slip sliding away with Dabo Sweeney in that magnificent new facility. And that national championship trophy as its centerpiece is really special. So is their schedule this year. The defending national champions will really have their season defined in weeks 2 and 3. Auburn comes a-calling with a Baylor transfer quarterback Jarrett Stidham who can really wing it. And then they have to go to Louisville to take on the defending Heisman Trophy winner Lamar Jackson. Should Clemson win both of those games, they may be in a great position to defend their title.
For 15 years, Takeo spikes caused havoc on an NFL field. Now, the former linebacker has a new focus. His story, next on Haviline's Football Saturdays. Welcome back to Haviline's Football Saturdays.
A standout linebacker at Auburn and a 15-year NFL veteran, Takeo Spike's football career was defined by the intensity and passion with which he played the game. In retirement, Spikes has found a new outlet for that emotional fire behind the lens of a camera. We caught up with Takeo to discover the unique way he's taking fans behind the mask.
For me, behind the mask, I was willing to share and unfold what's really behind the mask of players. I really get my value from photography because I feel like I can put my hands on that situation, doctor it up a little bit. That's art. I want that image to tell a story to me. That's why I fell in love with it, because I felt like I could capture a moment.
Well, we live in a place called Sandersville, Georgia. It's small country. Small. We don't even have a movie theater there now.
Blue-collar town, so it was imperative that you had to have a work ethic. And that's what I had the opportunity to see. You know, my father, he worked in the minor, and my mother, she was an educator. So my mother and father, they were not passionate to go to work, but they were passionate about being able to take care of us, reminding us that this is what I have to do so you can go out and run this football. That was passion. So I got that passion. I was like, you know what? If that's what they got to do, this is what I got to do. It felt like home. It just felt right. You know when you just feel it and you just can't explain it? That's what it felt like. Running out the tunnel, I was like, man, heaven can't feel too much better than this right here. Imagine if somebody puts a defibrillator on. Clear, boom.
Takeo spikes, the All-American linebacker, number 55, making that tackle.
Over 80,000 people coming to watch you play. I'm gonna be entertaining. I'm gonna tear somebody's head off, but it's gonna be entertaining. Bigger, faster, stronger was the next challenge for me going into the NFL. People can say, what's your secret ingredient? It's the passion of the game, just the love I have for it. It's not so much making a perfect hit, but for me, I look deeper into it. I want to see if I touch your soul. Because a lot of times guys quit when they get hit in the mouth. And so that's when I'm okay to pat myself on the back at the time. It's hard for people to take that jump over because a lot of people want to keep me boxed in as I remember Takeo Spikes as a great football player, and that's the only, I don't want to talk about nothing else. That's what it's about, really just showing people different sides. You know, when I looked at images that my mother took, she was great at capturing the moment, but she was horrible at just showing it with clarity.
I just get excited when I see somebody. Like if I'm looking at you, I just go to, you know, I don't try to focus. I'm looking at you and I'm thinking the camera going to see what I see. He wasn't satisfied the way I took the picture. Either I done cut off somebody or either I didn't take them right. They weren't focused.
What happened was I took a camera. This is how you take a picture. Now you do it. I do it. You do it. And so before I knew it, and I went years without knowing this, probably until 2010 when I went to London to the International Series game. I was playing with the 49ers. We played against the Broncos. And I found out at that time that I really love photography. And I was exposed by the guys on the, when I walked on that plane, they were like, Spikes, you got a camera? You too big to be having a camera. You know, and so from that point, once I showed them the images that I took in London, before we landed, everybody on that plane was asking for images. So I played 3 more years after that, and it really evolved into a book when I knew it was my last year playing. And I said, I want to be able to share my story in a book because so many people come up and ask me why and the how. And so I was like, why not put other fellow linebackers in the book as well and have them to share their story? Because I hear so many stories that need to be shared and they need to be heard. But the images will drive the story and the stories will drive the images. The first was Willie Lanier.
You could see he knew the craft. My background after I played was more business related. So we did it in a part of Atlanta, just sort of positioning it in a, I would say maybe a Wall Street kind of way. I was impressed with it because no one previously had tried to mold the shot of who you really are, not the football person, but that person that you are versus the one who might define you based on the sport.
Once I finished with him and then I had an opportunity to get feedback, I just went off faith and the best thing that you can do is when they ask you like, well, what is it? I had a couple of guys and I was like, oh yeah, Mike Singletary, he just agreed to do it. Everybody always known Mike Singletary as nickname was the Samurai. He got that nickname because they said whenever he hit someone, he cuts them in half. And so as soon as I saw it, it was, Mike, we gotta take a picture with you and the samurai sword. To me, that's one of the coldest images of all time. This really should be a front spread for real. Just letting you know that.
I can see how he was a top football player because he's very dedicated. So after every shoot, he'd want to get together with me at my studio and let's review all the images, critique it. So I give him a lot of credit for that.
Just to list a few names, some of the guys that I have in the book: Harry Carson, Derrick Brooks, Kevin Green, can't forget about the Mad Stork, Ted Hendricks. Oh, and Bobby Bell, I think if I didn't say his name, Bobby Bell.
He got some great guys in there, you know, some guys I looked up to, you know. He knocked it out of the park. What can you say? I looked at the book. In fact, I called him up and I said, I need some more books, because people that I showed it to, everybody wants the book. Unbelievable. It's unreal. I couldn't, you know, I'm going like, wow, this is awesome.
Chuck Bednarik. Now, he was the last of the 60-minute men, the guys who actually played both ways. He was known for the big hit against Frank Gifford, coming across the middle that put Frank Gifford out of football. And he stood up over him like this, the iconic picture. The family didn't allow him to talk to anybody in 5 years. And so for them to grant me access like that, I was like I'm gonna make this right. I really love this shot right here. You can see the highlights in his eyes. And everything that it portrays is exactly him with his personality. I was very fortunate enough to get his interview and his photography session because he died. He passed last year. A lot of people come up to me all the time and say, Spikes, why are you not on the cover? And I can truthfully say this book never was about me. Part of my story is in it, but it's really paying homage to the guys who really gave me the inspiration and motivation to go out and do and accomplish something that I wanted to do as a kid. So this was a way for me to pay tribute to him and his family.
We're at the estate tonight. The estate is a historic home here in Buckhead. Tonight we're going to have about 250 folks here to celebrate the launch of the book.
It's your host, Takeo Spikes, and look, we're here at the estate, Atlanta, Georgia, in Buckhead, celebrating the unveiling of Behind the Mask.
He's been working on this project for over 2 years, and I told him, like, regardless of how good you think the book is, like, the victory is you finishing it. And you're going to take this book and your next book will be even more phenomenal than this one is.
Brother, you exceeded all expectations. Thank you, man. Exceeded all expectations. Thank you. I'm proud of you.
I'm so happy about it because it started out just as an idea, just as a thought. But for me, what's even better, everybody has that defining moment. And that's what these guys are coming to Atlanta to share. A little motivation, a little bit of inspiration.
If you look at pictures which tell stories, those pictures live and those pictures give reference. That means that you are trying to look at the fullness of life other than just playing the game.
Derwin James is back. Haviline's Football Saturdays tells you why that's not good news for the rest of the ACC. Welcome back to Haviline's Football Saturdays.
A year ago, Derwin James was one of the best defensive players in college football. This after just one season. Size, speed, intelligence, the Florida State safety has it all. But then early last year, he suffered a season-ending knee injury. So we got our Stan Norfleet out of the studio to make the trip down to Tallahassee to find that James is ready to dominate again.
Number 3, one of the best defensive players in college football right now is on the turf. Derwin James left the game, looked to be an injured left knee on the cart.
Football is a game of brotherhood. One team, one goal. But when that element is taken away, and the one thing left standing is an empty locker, the mental character of an athlete is tested.
You want me to start from the game?
However you want to go.
All right, well,
September 10th, Charleston Southern, y'all beating the brakes off of them, third quarter.
Yeah, it was a blown coverage, you know. It was a blown coverage. I seen a guy, you know, a tight end run like a corner route, and you know, I'm trying to, you know, go make a play, and then I just, instead of following through, I try to land. When I hit him, I try to, you know, land on my feet. Instead of doing that, you know, I just felt kind of like my leg go like down, so I ain't think nothing of it, you know. I walked back to get the play. The ref asking me, I'm all right. I'm good. You know, I'm telling him I'm good. Right. So then I try to take another step. It locked up on me. So then my team, I remember Trey telling me, just get down, let's just get down.
Derwin James with 3 tackles comes off the field, and Florida State sports medicine folks will tend to him.
And so that night afterwards, we went out and they MRI'd it, and they said it was a torn cartilage. They said, Jimbo, he's got a little tear. We can clip it, and he'd be back in 2-3 weeks. But where he's at, the way it looks, is a possibility we could sew that thing. And I said, if you can sew it, we're sewing it. He said, but he'll miss the whole. I said, I don't care. This guy's going to play for 10, 12 years. I mean, he's got a phenomenal career ahead of him. I said, and if it was my son, it's exactly what I would do.
Louisville is the next game. Lamar Jackson is lightening up. Then there's a home game. And you come in here, and for the first time in your career, there's an empty locker. Ain't no jersey in there for you. No shoulder pads today. No helmet today. What did that do to your psyche?
It make like I said, it make you question yourself, because you know you're not physically out there. But I remember, the thing I remember most about walking in was that I did the best that I can do to help my team prepare, even though I'm not out there.
Was that the lowest moment of your career, your whole time here, the 2 years you've been here?
Yeah, of course, man, of course. It humbled me a lot. You go from being on the top to, all right, you ain't playing no more.
Your preparation this offseason to get back to where you at, talk us through how rigorous that's been. How have you approached attacking the offseason?
I try to focus more on, you know, building that knee up strong. You know, that was my first focus coming in, you know, early January, February. You know, focusing a lot on my lower body, you know, not trying to put on too much muscle, but, you know, just trying to be more, work on muscles. Like when I was rehabbing, I was working on muscles I didn't even know I really had, you know. I'm in there, you know, I'm doing like stuff around my knee that I didn't even know, like different muscles that, you know, you don't really pay attention to, you know. And now, like, all right, well, this is what this do, this is what that do. You know, I've been focusing more on, you know, like you say, quads, hamstrings, and different stuff. You know, flexibility. I've been doing yoga and just different stuff, you know, where I can keep me in top shape.
So you said in January, February, you ready to go, body good. The next phase of this thing is spring ball.
Mm-hmm.
How did it feel putting that helmet back on, bro? We get this contact popping, you know what I mean?
A relief. You know, the first 3 days, you know, you got to wear helmets, you know. And it was like I wanted contact so bad, but I just had to think, man, these are my teammates, you know. We had to get better, you know. And each day, it was just, every time I take that field, it was just like, man, it's a gift from God to be out here every day, you know. Just don't take it for granted. Give it everything you got, you know. Come out here, work hard, and, you know. If it's your last play, make it your best play. So, you know, that's why I came in with that mindset, you know, on how can I get my teammates better, and, you know, how can I enjoy this game, you know, playing this game. So. That really was my focus in the spring.
You got a lot of great strength, a lot of attributes. I'm happy to see you back. You're looking good. I'm excited about seeing you. You're a great young man. That's one of the things I'm leaving this interview with, saying, you surprised me just because I didn't know how good of a dude you are. All right? We know the abilities. When you look at this season, we've looked at the schedule. Do you have any concerns? Are you concerned about the knee, the league talk, living up to the expectations? What's your concern going into this year?
My concern is, giving my teammates all I got every play, every down. I ain't one of those guys, just worried about getting hurt. I'm gonna go out there. If I have to run through a wall for one of my teammates, I'm gonna run through that wall. I'm going out there, give it all I got. Try to help this team. Like you said, I want to win a championship. So that's gonna be one of the things coming up this year that I really want me and my teammates to realize that the opportunity is there for us. And, I want us to really just come in and work hard. I just want to be remembered as a person that work hard. Care about the people around you.
Thanks, Dan. We'll see in the opener if James is really back as the Seminoles take on Alabama in Atlanta. Talk about a test against what many people believe is the #1 team in the nation.
Emmy Award-winning Havilines, Football Saturdays, will be right back.
Plan on joining us for our next show when we visit with Cincinnati's A.J. Green, one of the best receivers in the NFL. Also, the continuing saga of UAB football's return to the field. The story of All-Pro defensive tackle Kawan Short, whose mission is to give back to his community. And finally, the magic of the number 25 at Virginia Tech. To check out exclusive videos from this show and past stories from our series, go to footballsaturdays.com. For our entire Raycom sports staff, I'm Tim Brando. So long, everybody.